Live with Tao. Boredom is human. You can define a human being through boredom. Aristotle defined human being as rational. Aristotle defined human being as rational. That may not be exactly true. It is not 100% true because animals are also rational, but there is a difference of degree. Animals are also rational, but they are less rational than as compared to human beings. But no animal is absolutely irrational. There are animals which are just below the human mind. There are animals which are just below the human mind. They too are rational, but in their own way. An animal is rational in his own way, just as a child is rational in his own way, adult is rational in his own way, and an elderly person is rational in his own way. Each has a different criteria and degrees of being rational. The difference is only of degree between animal and man. But this, in case of different levels of human beings, a child, an adult, and an elderly person, the difference in rationality is not only of the degree but quality as well. Through boredom, you can define him. He is only bored animal, and this boredom can come into such a climax that man can commit suicide. When the boredom reaches its pinnacle, its peak, man can commit suicide. But this is only possible for human beings. No animal commits suicide. That is absolutely. Suicide is an absolutely human phenomenon. When boredom comes to such a point that even hope becomes impossible, no possibility of any hope, boredom starts in degrees, in layers, and then ultimately it reaches the possibility. Sometimes in the beginning you are bored, like on a day-to-day basis you are feeling bored. So you feel there is a hope that you put on television set and you will see something that may interest you and bring down your boredom. Or you go out for meet some friends, or go to a restaurant, or go to a movie. The boredom disappears because there remains a hope. But sometimes this boredom reaches to such a state that all hopes disappear and any kind of hope becomes impossible. You are feeling bored. You call a friend. What are you doing? Nothing. Let's go for a movie. I'm feeling bored, home alone, doing nothing, and it is holiday and so. Okay, let's go. So that is why you see in Trinidad and anywhere else on public holidays and Sundays, they do not like to remain at home. Every day they go to work, but just staying home, doing nothing, creates boredom. So now weekend, there is no work, workers are not coming, nothing to be done. Then you decide to go to the beach, decide to go to a movie or to a restaurant or something else, because there is a hope by going to the restaurant or engaging in any such activity can reduce the boredom. But occasionally, as the meditation deepens, this state of boredom starts dissolving. Then you are alone at home, doing nothing. You are not doing anything. And you are not feeling bored. Sometimes we do experience this moment, otherwise we want to remain engaged in one thing or the other. I do not engage in any activity other than it is essential for me. Unnecessary, I will not do it. If it is necessary to do the cleaning and so, that's a different matter. So all these things done on a day-to-day basis, so there is no need to do extra work on a particular day. When boredom comes to such a point that even hope becomes impossible, then you drop dead by yourself, because then there is no sense of carrying all this anymore. You can carry this boredom, this pain, because somewhere the tomorrow is yet hopeful. Today is bad, but tomorrow something will happen. Because of that hope, you go on living. I have heard once a Chinese emperor sentenced the prime minister to death. The day prime minister was to be hanged, the emperor came to see him to say goodbye. He had been a devoted servant for many, many years, but he had done something which irritated the emperor, so he had sentenced him to death. But remembering that this was going to be the last day, the emperor came to meet him. When the emperor came, he saw the minister was crying and tears was rolling down from his eyes. He could not imagine that death could be the cause of this crying and suffering. Because he was a brave man, so he asked, "Is it impossible to imagine that you are..." So he asked, "It is impossible to imagine, to believe that you are crying because you are going to be hanged and die this evening. Is it impossible to conceive? You are a brave man, and I have known your bravery so many times. So it must be something else. What is this? If I can do something, I would like to do." The Prime Minister said, "Now nothing can be done, and it is of no use to say to you. But if you insist, then I will. If you insist, then I am still your servant, and I will obey and tell you." The emperor insisted, so the Prime Minister said, "It is not my death, because that is not of so much importance. Man has to die one day. One day death will certainly come to him. But I am crying because I have seen your horse standing outside. I am crying because I have seen your horse standing outside. So the king was startled. He asked, because of the horse, why? The Prime Minister said, I was looking for my whole life for this type of horse, because I have learned one ancient secret that I can teach horse to fly. That I have learned an ancient secret that I can teach horse to fly, but only of a particular type. This is the type, and this is my last day. I am not worried about my death, but just that one ancient art that I have known, I have learned, will be lost with me. That is why I am crying. The minister said, I saw your horse standing outside. So what is that to do? And are you crying for the horse? Yes. But why? Because the minister said, I have learned an ancient art to teach the horse to fly, but only a particular type of horse. Now I am crying, I am sad, because today is my last day and I will not be able to teach the horse how to fly. The emperor was excited, thrilled. If the horse could fly, he would be something. So he said, how many days will it take? Asked the minister, how many days it will take? The Prime Minister said, at least 1 year, and then the horse will start flying. So the emperor thought for a moment, and he said, okay, for 1 year I will make you free. I will set you free. But remember, if in 1 year the horse is not flying, you will be again sentenced and hanged. But if horse is flying, you will be forgiven. And not only forgiven, I will give you half of my kingdom, because I will be the first emperor in the history who has a flying horse. So come out of the prison and don't cry. So because the emperor put a condition, he asked, how long will it take? The minister said, it will take 1 year for me to teach the horse how to fly. So king was thrilled, and he thought for a moment, and he told him that I will set you free, and you are given 1 year to teach the horse to fly. And he told all those things. I'll give you half of my kingdom, because I'll be the first king in the history to have a horse that can fly. The Prime Minister rode, happy and laughing, on the horse of his house. He rode the horse, laughing and happy, to his house. But the wife was still crying and in a shock, and he said, I have heard the news as it has reached before you came, but 1 year only, and I know you don't know any art, and the horse cannot fly. You do not know any art or to teach horse how to fly. This is just a trick, a deception. So if you could ask for 1 year, why you could not ask for 10 years? Imagine the Prime Minister. The minister said that would be too much. As it is already too much, the horse flying is already too much. The horse flying is already too much. Then asking for 10 years would have been obviously a trick. But don't cry. And the wife said, it makes me still more sad, and I'll be living with you for 1 year. You will be hanged after that. This 1 year is going to be a real suffering, a torture, because I know. Earlier on, I did not know that you will be hanged, and suddenly the news came that you have been sentenced and you will be hanged. Now, it will be a torture, because I know that you have asked the king 1 year to teach the horse to fly, and I also know you know not any secret, any art to teach the horse how to fly. So it is like a torture. The minister said, now I'll tell you an ancient secret you don't know. In this 1 year, the king can die, the horse can die, or who knows, the horse can learn to fly. 1 year. So he gave the hope. There are many possibilities. The king can die in 1 year. The horse can die. If the horse dies, then no problem. If the king dies, no problem. And if the horse learns to fly, then there is no problem. The horse can fly 1 year. Just hope. And man lives through hope because he is so bored. When boredom comes to such a point where you lost all your hope and you cannot hope, when hopelessness is absolute, you commit suicide. Boredom and suicide are both human. No animal commits suicide. No tree commits suicide. Why has this happened? What is the reason behind this? Has man forgotten completely how to live, how to celebrate, how to be festive, while the whole existence is festive? How has man come out of this and created a sad milieu around him? It has happened. Animals live through instincts. They do not live through awareness. They live through instincts mechanically. Nothing has to be learned. There is no possibility of learning because it is a mechanical way of life. They are born with whatever they need to know. Their life turns on a smooth, instinctive plane, just moves on an instinctive plane. There is no possibility of learning anything. They have an inbuilt program, a blueprint in their cells, in their DNA, for all that they need to live and be happy. So they are living mechanically. Man is slightly different. Man has lost instincts. Now there is no blueprint in his life. There is no blueprint for him to live accordingly because the instincts are not there. You are born without a blueprint, without any built-in program, no mechanical lines are available for you to move on. You have to create your own path. As you walk, you create your path. You have to substitute instincts with something which is not instinct. You have to substitute instinct with something which is not instinct, because instincts have been dropped. You have to substitute your instinct with intelligence, with awareness. So animal lives with instincts, and with instincts you can live in a mechanical way. But man has to substitute his instincts, a blueprint, with his intelligence and awareness. You cannot live mechanically. You have gone beyond a stage where mechanical life is possible. The moment life becomes mechanical, because you have a possibility of being intelligent, you have a possibility of intelligence and awareness, so you cannot live with instincts. And if you are not using your intelligence and awareness, boredom is bound to come. You have gone beyond that stage where mechanical life is possible. It is not possible for you. You cannot live like an animal, and you don't know how to live in some other way. This is the problem. You don't know, so you are hoping. Like there are financial crisis problems. You have learned to live life with a particular kind of financial management. When the income is getting less, so you have learned to live your life because you come from a wealthy family. So whenever you need the money to go wherever you want to go, or you are earning on your own, so whenever there is an opportunity, you are traveling, going here and there, restaurants, this, that. So you are using, but the moment your financial resources get less, you have to manage your finances within that limitations, and you do not know the financial management. Financial management is based on intelligence and awareness. You have not learned to use your intelligence and awareness in a difficult situation. So problem is bound to come. You do not have a natural inbuilt program to follow. Without a program, you have to face existence, and boredom, suffering is bound to be there because you have not learned to manage the finances. So you will be suffering because you do not have the money enough, the way you had it in your hand, to spend frugally, freely. Boredom is bound to be your destiny, and you cannot create such awareness that you can live through awareness rather than living through instincts, through the habits of spending the money without any restrictions. You have not learned, you have not used the intelligence to use your money. This is what in finance sector known as financial management. You have to learn everything. This is the problem. Animal needs not learn anything, but you cannot live with instincts. You cannot live the resource. Now, the difference between the two examples is man cannot live with instincts. At the same time, the example that I have given you to entertain, to learn the process of living when the instincts are not there or resources are limited. You have to learn to manage your finances. And unless you learn, you cannot live. You have to learn how to live. No animals needs it. This learning is a problem. You learn many things. You learn how to earn the money. You learn mathematics. You learn history. You learn science. But you never learn how to live, how to manage your finances. You have learned all the disciplines. You learn how to earn the money, but you never learn how to live and manage within the resources that are available to you. And this is creating a boredom, creating a problem. The whole humanity is bored because of this basic thing remaining untouched. And it cannot be left to instincts because there are now no instincts to live. For man, instincts have completely vanished, dropped. The door is closed. You have to build your own program. You have to bring your own program, means management. You are born without a map. You have to walk and create your own path. This is good because existence thinks you are so responsible that you can create your own map. So if you are intelligent enough, then you can manage the limited resources in a best possible manner. You can create your own map. This is why the entire balance sheet, the cash flow projections, and all these things are done in the business to establish a clear map of financial management. And you have to present it. The accounts department prepares it for the management presents it to the bank and then operates within that framework, within that map. This is a glory. This is magnificent. This makes man the highest, the peak of existence, because existence leaves you free. No animal is free. He has to live. So when you make a plan, you make a map, so you are free to make the map. Manage your finances. You are getting X amount of resources you have at the end of the month, and you are managing the limited resources in an intelligent way. So you are working under a program. Existence gives you this opportunity and intelligence to work that. When you are born with a program, and when an animal is born with a program as to follow. He cannot go astray. He cannot choose. There are no alternatives given to him. For man, all alternatives are open. So in the business, for the management, all options are open. So if you cannot do on your own, so when that situation comes, you call your finance team, you call your sales team, and make a plan to overcome this particular situation. So all alternatives are open, and with no map to move with. So then you can manage things. Boredom will not be there. The problem will not be there. You can sort out all the problems. If you learn to live, how to live, life will become If you do not learn how to live, then life will become difficult. A dairy effect. So let us end it now. Enough for now.